What's up, SE Nation? Ramsey here. So, you want to become a sales engineer. In many cases, we just jump online and start applying to any job with the title SE or similar. And in case you're curious about the similar titles for SEs, check out the video somewhere. I'll link it. But the question is, should we apply to everything? Or should we target specific potential employers? And the answer is
Yes! Yes! Yes!
or ideally, you would target the right people, and if all else fails, apply to everything. But the point of the video today is to discuss who to target initially that give you the best chance of getting visibility, getting the interview, and hopefully landing the job. And I'm also going to discuss how to do that. So let's jump in and start off with who to target right after I come back from a customer lunch. I'll see you later.
3 hours later.
And I'm back from lunch, so let's talk about who to target. I've been back from lunch for a while, by the way. Just got caught up at work. So here's, in 5 minutes, who should you target? Well, number one, you should target the company that you work for. It's always easier to move internally within the company. The downside of that is you don't generally get a good raise, but it's easier to transition. Only if the company has a sales engineering team. It'll be very difficult for you to transition into a sales engineering role without having a sales engineering team. I know I'm very good at stating the obvious. Moving on. So why should you do that? Well, one, you already know the product. They don't have to invest a lot of money in training you how to learn the product. You already know it. I used to work in support, and if I had moved to sales engineering, a lot of people on my team or in adjacent teams moved to sales engineering, and it was an easy move for them because they knew the product and they could talk to customers about it. You may have been exposed to the sales team already. I worked in support. I mentioned that 2 seconds ago, but I used to work in support. Believe me, trust me. And we had to do demos sometimes to support the customer, the sales team. The sales team didn't have the expertise to do a demo on something or another, and we were the experts, so they just brought us in to help them out. I am currently in part of the sales team, and we work on a lot of alpha and beta releases. Customers are interested in what's coming down the pipe. So these are things that I don't know how to demo. Other SEs don't know how to demo. It's brand new. Doesn't even exist to the general population. So we get a product manager, a software engineer, a QA engineer to come and do the demo. I really don't care who does it as long as they know how to talk to the customer. And if they do a good job, I try to convince them to move into sales engineering in general. So if you have a sales engineering team, try to get involved with them early before you even want to move. So you can help, and when the option's available, you can actually take that chance and tell them, hey, I want a job on your team. Again, moving internally, and that's a whole different conversation, different rant. Moving internally within organizations lead to less raises for some reason. The second types of companies you should apply to are vendors of your current company. So companies that sell into your company, preferably companies that you use their tools and software. And why should they hire you? A few reasons. Again, you use the product as a customer, so you know the product. They don't have to spend a lot of time training you. You know what's good, you know what's bad. You have your own stories that you can share. You are a customer. And you have a good relationship with the customer set. Your teammates, your people that you currently work with, they're the customers. Your boss or their boss probably bought the product. Maybe it's higher, but at least you're within the environment. So you can bring them access to folks in different departments if that's what they need. For example, VMware. Recently, they're in IT, and they recently wanted to move to DevOps with some new technology, some company that they acquired. You can provide that, and people would want to work with that. The third type of employers you should go after are competitors of your current vendors. And that's my story. I worked at a company where they used vendor A. Vendor B had a position open, and they really wanted to break into the company they used to work for. So when I applied, it was almost immediate. And that's a different story, how I applied to different places. But within a day, I think, I may be misrecalling this, but very shortly after I applied, I got a response from the recruiter because I had the title of the main company, their biggest customer in my territory. It was on there, and they really wanted to They wanted me to help them break in and also expand. The last, well, I think there's two more types of employers. It's vendors that service your industry. So if you're in IT, you can work with a million different vendors, from security vendors, from like routing vendors, firewall vendors, application vendors, Jira, Splunk. I don't know if they use Salesforce, but ServiceNow. There's a million companies that you can apply to within the industry that you're in, even if you don't use their product as much. And the last type of employees that you might want to apply to is just other employees that are the vendors that you're passionate about their product, their software, their service, even if you don't know much about them. Your chances are lower in getting the interview, but if you do get the interview, because you're passionate about them, you'll put in the extra work that somebody else might not, and you could get the job. So, and my recommendation for that is, if you have a vendor that you're passionate about, try to get certified in their stuff before you start applying, even if it costs you money. Now I have to go to a customer meeting. I'll be back to finish this.
Anara.
All right, so let's talk about how to target. Like, we decided we're going to target these people. How are we going to target them? That is marketing one-on-one. And I'm not a marketer. This is just what I've learned throughout my career and through podcasting and all that stuff. You have inbound marketing and outbound marketing. So let's talk about inbound first. When you're looking at inbound, what you're trying to do is optimize get people to see you versus you reaching out and like touching people, pinging people on their back. You didn't see that, but hey, ping on the back. So how do we do that? Well, first thing is you have to optimize your LinkedIn so you can draw attention from the right people. I know many people who optimize their LinkedIn, and optimize, I say between air quotes. They optimize it for technologies that they don't really know much about, but they're flashy. AWS is one, but they don't optimize it for what they're good at. If you're coming from a lawyer background, you can sell tools for lawyers or software for lawyers. So optimize your LinkedIn for that versus optimizing for AWS, because you don't know much about that, but you're a good lawyer, hopefully, and you can optimize for that. And you're trying to get your information out there so the right recruiter for the right company can see you and reach out to you and try to recruit you. And another thing you might have to do is be active on social media. A gentleman by the name of Ink, he's a client of mine. The first thing he did when he decided he wanted to be an SE is he went out on LinkedIn and he put, "I'm going to be an SE by the end of the year," or something like that. And then he was an SE 3 months later. So you have to be out there. No, you don't. I think I have information somewhere about like the 4 degrees of social media, or being a social person. You don't have to do much. You just optimize your LinkedIn. Now you can just comment or like some other people's posts, people that you want to get involved with, you want to know. If you like something that they said, comment, share that information, and bring your own experiences. So it doesn't have to be too complicated. You don't have to write a post or a blog. You can just comment on somebody else's post. Another way to get visibility is to join Slack channels, or join groups, whatever they are on LinkedIn. And SENY is one of the greatest that I've seen, so you can check them out. Sales Engineers New York. I know that's their website. They're also known as SE Nation. It's a tight-knit group. You can join them. You don't have to be in New York. You can be anywhere and join them and be part of that. You can meet SE managers there. You can also make a name for yourself by going to meetups and speaking on things that you know, helping other people out. If you're, what's an example? If you're a lawyer and you want to become an SE that caters to lawyers, yeah, that's the word. And you can help SEs who don't know anything about being lawyers and they want information. Obviously, they need to need that information. So you can help them there. Tell people of your intention. If you don't want to post it like Ink, where he put, "I'm going to be an SE in 3 months and in 1 year." If you're talking to people on an individual basis, tell them that's what you want to do. Even if they're not SEs, they could be something completely different. They don't know what sales engineering is, but maybe they know someone who does and they can refer you. So just talk to people. Now, I can hear my family came home, so I'm going to have to leave now, and I'll be back to finish this video. And I'm back from putting everybody to sleep, I guess, and now we're going to talk about outbound marketing, outbound personal marketing, self-branding. That usually is just applying to your target audience online through LinkedIn, or you can go through their web pages. Most jobs come through referrals. That's kind of a given, and most people know that. However, if you have a good resume, if you have a reason for them to contact you, they will contact you. I've had multiple job interviews mainly just from my resume because I was able to touch on the points that they were interested in terms of, hey, like the company that I applied to, the first job that I got was simply applying to the right company. Now, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't do it on purpose, but when you kind of spray and pray, something will hit. And that's what happened with me. But I applied to the company where I applied to a vendor that was trying to break into the company that I worked for. That worked. I've learned since then that you can actually target that and you don't need to spray and pray, although sometimes it just works. But since then, I've also got interviews through my resume, even for non of like people that are not vendors of my company. It could be a completely different industry, just by showing my impact. And I've talked about impact a lot in different videos. But if you want to know more, this is what I do. I help people figure that stuff out. So connect with me on LinkedIn or go on my website, WeTheSalesEngineers.com. There's a link in there to book some time with me to figure out if we can work together. And if it's useful for you, check it out. As long as you focus on impact, there's a very good chance that your resume can get you an interview. There's a better chance through referrals, but still. So if you want to do that, you basically have to start connecting with your vendors today. If you have a vendor that sells into your company, connect with them. If you see that they have competitors, they don't sell into your company, connect with them as well. And basically connect with sales engineers, connect with salespeople, product managers, connect with anybody in the industry you want to break into. Through LinkedIn, as we talked earlier, through Slack channels, meetups, and all that. Reach out to existing contacts. Tell them I want to become a sales engineer. See what happens. Do they have any open roles? You never know. Anyways, that's it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like and share it and subscribe it. The more you like my videos, the more of my videos you get. So, if you want to watch more of my videos, hit the like button. If you don't. Yeah, check out my website, WeTheSalesEngineers.com. And I will see you later. Get back to work.